what was I going to say next? So anyway, it's Thursday starting October 11th, and we really appreciate Nova Home Loans for really being a huge supporter of small business owners and how they learn, because I'd have to charge more for the membership if we didn't have their support. So I really, really do appreciate it. I wish Karen could show up more often, but we have Carolyn here, which is really nice. Just a couple of little announcements. You all know what the Smart Group is all about, which is great. Hi, Marie. We have a 5th mastermind member, so drum roll. It's Connie Ryan. And Connie is, actually she's a little more than a mastermind member because she is also going to be our Twitter and probably our Pinterest specialist. So when we're talking about those two social media platforms, she'll be the go-to person, and we're going to be asking her to come speak about those two. So she'll be the expert. And if you send her an email, do you mind if people have questions to send to you? Okay. Pinterest is such a natural with your business that it's a great thing. And then my daughter Danielle, it's really exciting. She has found somebody to apprentice with in Bisbee, Arizona, of all places. And so that's where she is today, starting to her training. And I'm not sure if she's ever up here on Friday again, she'll come back. But otherwise, we're going to have to find a new media assistant. And she'll be in Bisbee. The mastermind members, not only is it an honor because you're displaying what you know in social media on a regular basis and effectively, but you're also looked to as a mentor with the rest of the members. And so if you make a point maybe to sit next to one of the mastermind members, especially if if you might have questions, that would be a good idea. And so see who they all are: Deborah, Pam, Chris, Steve, and Connie. Let's go ahead and do our introductions, and then I have a very brief follow-up to last week's strategy. If you all, I think almost everybody was here last time, or at least you watched the video.
So you. Video.
Okay.
On this weekend's.
Okay. So if we just go around, just say your name, your business name, and I'm hoping you all have come up with a long tail keyword, like we talked about last week, because that's actually what we're going to be testing today with Phil. I'm going to start with Mike. Can you model it for us? Your name, your business name, and a...
What are you asking?
What?
Well, you can do that too if you want, but a long tail keyword.
Okay. My name is Mike Gray, and my business is onlinebizsmarts.com, and one long tail keyword could be Facebook Marketing Tucson.
Okay, great. Marie, were you ready? Or do you want to go next, or you want to...
Marie Farron and Farron's Natural Cosmetics, and a long-term keyword would be pure botanical ingredients.
Okay. Chris?
Chris Hayes and Melina with Heartfelt Workforce and Life Force, and I have Personal Improvement Workshop Training Tucson.
Okay. Connie?
My name is Connie Ryan with Enchanting Occasions. Don't have a long-term keyword today. I didn't watch the video yet.
Okay. Do you want to just come up with a keyword then that would be one that you usually include?
Definitely wedding planning, Tucson.
Okay. Great.
Kathy Loring, several businesses. I'll use TucsonWeddingDo.com.
Mm-hmm.
Low cost. I didn't write it down. Affordable, last-minute wedding officiants.
Wow. Okay.
Long tail, right?
That is a long tail, yes. Pam?
After long, Tucson marketing tools. And I don't know, could that be a long tail? Tucson marketing tools?
Yes, you could.
That might be...
What do you think, Mike?
That might be more of an actual, and I'm trying to think of the other term, is more of an accurate. I think that would be an accurate keyword versus a long tail.
So like marketing tools, Tucson maybe?
Hey,
So,
Jen, can you turn the air up just a tiny bit?
Small business
Thanks.
marketing tools, Tucson, would be a little more long tail.
Okay.
What did you say, Mike? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Small business marketing tools, Tucson.
Okay. That's a little more specific than what she'd said.
Right.
Okay, Sunny?
Unforgettable Sandwich, Tucson.
Okay. Jen?
Jen Delaney, Temp Connection, and Staffing Services Tucson.
Okay.
Hi, Carolyn Canterman, Nova Home Loans. Also wasn't here last week, but Mortgage Tucson, Mortgage Loans Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Francis with Saguaro Peace and Tech. Tucson Computer Repair Service.
Okay, long tail.
That was a long tail.
Well, you had a great long tail last week where you actually put in the name of the brand of the computer, remember?
Oh, like Dell Computer
Yeah.
Repair in Tucson.
Okay. Because you came up with such a good one last week, I had to just remind you.
Okay, so the long tail would be like brands.
Okay. Barb?
You know, I'm Barb Isley, Life Transformations Now, and I think it could be just putting together what other people are saying. Life Crossroad Coaching Tucson.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Deborah Munoz Tucon, Sonora and Oasis Landscaping. And one of the ones I came up with was Rainbird Landscapers Tucson, because that's
Okay.
one of the certifications we have, Rainbird Irrigation.
Okay, great. Johnny?
I'm Johnny White, the J3 Tech, and I think there's not long keyword in that word. Manage social media or manage Facebook account.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, and we have you just came in. You want to introduce yourself? What we do is we don't do a 30-second commercial.
No, I don't.
What we do is just your name, your business name, and we were talking about long tail keywords last week. And I don't know if you had a chance to look at the video because I sent it to you, right?
I just got out yesterday.
Okay. Just what would it be a keyword that you would include if you know what keywords are?
Okay. John Vogel, Sunshine Industries, and long home would be like skylights for Tucson.
Skylights for Tucson. Okay, great. Did anybody miss anybody? No? Okay, so I'm just going to talk for 10 minutes, and hopefully at the end of the 10 minutes, our speaker will be here. But remember last week I talked about assumptions and your leap of faith. And I asked you to come up with the assumption that you have that's your biggest leap of faith. It's the thing that you are guessing that's most important. You're guessing about it, you're assuming something, but maybe you're not sure, it's not a fact, and you're basing your whole business on it. So I asked you to take that leap of faith and do a test on it. Create a hypothesis and test it. So I realized after the meeting that you really needed more direction on it. So I have these handouts. Does everybody have one? Pam, could you just get a couple and we'll pass them down? And this is really something that Aaron Eden designed. So
this is the real homework assignment in writing.
Yes. Yeah, and this is something, I think I have about 2 copies of this for everybody. You could just make another copy at home if you want. And it's not just on one assumption. Any assumption that you have or guess that you're basing your business plans on, this is a really good way to lay it out and understand that maybe I don't know specifically, maybe I can't count on that assumption and I need to test it. So the leap of faith assumption, what you're doing, we're going to focus on customer behaviors, where if you're expecting certain customer behaviors to take place, but if they don't take place, your business is not going to work. So having the thought, if you build it, they will come, is not the way to go. Okay, and that's what I hear from most small business owners. My product can be bought by it's good for anybody. Anybody would buy this product. I know they'll like it. It's a great product, but they haven't really tested that assumption. So that's what you're going to do here. And so I thought what I'd do. So if you look at the sheet, I'm going to come up with a hypothesis, and I'm going to use, actually, this could be either of our 2 life coaches here, or counseling people here. But I was actually thinking of Chris's business, and so I wanted to give you a example. I hope you don't mind if I used you, Chris, but this could also work for Barb. And that is because I know you have the business of where you want to go into companies and provide the human resources with seminars.
Actually, it's just one training course.
One training course.
One training course.
Okay. What's the training course?
It's my heartfelt communication skills.
Okay, so the employees communicate in a heartfelt way with each other?
It's a team engagement process.
Okay.
So
Well,
which is
let's.
like at the bottom of it, it's at the first step before a strategic plan. So it connects people first and then you move
Okay,
into the
so that
plan.
they can work better together. Okay, so let's just make a leap of faith assumption that a manly business, such as construction, would want to have this kind. Let's say you wanted to target construction companies.
Now it's called Silo Busters.
Okay.
Or Team Trust. I'm working on a new name. For
Oh,
this
I
one.
see. This-
So,
okay.
Yeah, because the heartfelt communication skills doesn't fit into a manly business. So I am
Great,
in the
that's
process of
wonderful.
rebranding the name for it.
Okay,
So
so that I would. Well, okay, but you've just made an assumption, though, right?
Right.
You're assuming that men will like that name better.
Well, actually, ask
So
a man.
I know, but you asked one man. Okay, you need. To,
We were talking about the same thing.
Okay. Well, I don't want to split hairs here, but let's say you want to know whether you're assuming that the construction industry really needs your help because there have all these men that are big egos and whatever. But so you want to, hello, Phil. You want to come up with a hypothesis that they would be willing to buy your service to have a full-day workshop. So if X, then Y is the hypothesis. And that was your homework last week. Did anybody do that? Come up with your if X, then Y? So for this one, what I would say, if offered a complimentary pilot workshop, 50% of construction company HR directors will sign up for it. Now, I'm sure that you can come up with a better hypothesis. I'm kind of thinking for you, but you're the business owner. You know your business. But I just came up with this so that it has to be something that is measurable, and there needs to be a currency. So it can be money, or it can be just the act of signing up is a currency.
Right.
So if at least 50% sign up, you can feel that your assumption is a pretty valid assumption, right?
Well, it's interesting because I actually did test it.
You did?
Yes.
Okay. You called one person?
No, I did it at Patio Pools.
Oh, okay.
They were my research and development.
Okay.
And my assumption was that a company with male dominant would not be open to it. And
Would
they
not
were.
be open to it. Okay.
Right. They changed, but I did it covertly. And then other people saw the changes in the people, and the other male manager said, I want my team to have what they have.
Yeah, but
So
that
it may
was
be
kind
different
of,
the way you
yeah,
think.
that's a little different because you've got your petri dish there that you could play with.
Right.
This is like the market out there that you're not in touch with,
Right.
supposedly. Okay. So.
They were my research.
So when you do your design, you always measure real customer behavior, and this is not on the sheet, but I'll post the slides, and you focus on what behavior you want that customer to do. So the behavior that I put into the hypothesis was that they would actually sign up, and that there could be a second hypothesis, how many actually show up. So there's one thing of signing up which shows a positive, indicator, but to actually show up, you might have 50% sign up and only 30% show up.
How about if they're not my target market?
Well, you're only asking your target market, and when you do a control test like this.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
But I meant that's not the market I want.
Well, yeah, I was just coming up with what I thought was a wild and crazy
Yeah, that
assumption.
was, because that was
Construction
definitely with
companies.
that blue ocean strategy.
Yeah.
That's something different because that's not what they do.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you experiment only on the target customers. So you make sure that if you identify 20, that those are all 20 that are actually in that market you're targeting. And then you set the metrics, and they need to be fairly aggressive. I think 50% is aggressive, because that's a pretty good response. But it needs to be a number that would really excite you. So let's just...
Well, the thing about that is that if you're going to do the aggressive measures, it can, but do you really need 50% of the contacts in order for you to consider it to be a successful strategy?
Well, it depends what you're doing. I was watching teams do this week before last, and depending on what they were testing, there was metrics all over the place. For some of the tests, it was only 5%. And hey, if we get 5% answer on this set of emails we're sending out, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So they were sending out to Intuit employees.
Right.
Yeah. So it depends on what the test is, what the metric would be and what would be considered. But if Chris contacted 10 construction company human resource directors and 5 were interested in signing up for a free class, I think that would be more. If only one did, you wouldn't be excited. I don't know, maybe you'd have 4 out of 10. So that part of it is a kind of subjective.
it made me think of Phil's suggestion from last week. You could
Mhm.
apply the same idea of keywords,
Mhm.
but in a click ad campaign to see if your click-through
Exactly,
rate
yes.
equals your hypothesis.
Yes.
of
So
a
you're
percentage.
assuming that's a good long tail keyword.
Okay.
And so you might pre-establish before you even do the test
Mhm.
on Google AdWords what you would consider significant. So just to go over this, you say your hypothesis and you put the number in it, like I had done when it was 50%, or you could say 5 out of 10, or whatever number you want. And then you have to decide what behavior you're testing and how what exactly are they giving you to prove that they're interested, which would be actually signing up, doing something overt. And then you kind of tally up your results, and you decide whether you've had any surprises. And then you decide, am I on the right track, or should I change course? So if you're a pivot, that means, no, I'm not on the right track. It's going to be banging my head against the wall to get into construction companies. So, or I'll go ahead and proceed with this, and I'll have another test to actually make sure. So you can have a whole set of tests. Anyway, this is kind of really advanced strategic planning, to be honest, and so I hope you guys enjoy going ahead and being like an advanced strategic planner.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would we do this for different offerings? Because I have different audiences.
Absolutely.
For different offerings.
You can do it for the very smallest segment of your product offering. Yeah, in fact, the more you do it and the more specific you are, the better assured you are that you're not going to waste your time and money pursuing a certain offering to your market. Let's see. Phil Siobhan is next. Does anybody have any questions about this sheet?